the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. All of those of you that are in the room, and also those that are live streaming. We'll start the agenda with a motion to accept consent agenda items. So moved. I have a motion by Cheryl. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Kurt. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we'll ask if anyone is present who would like to speak to any item on the agenda or any other topic. Hearing none, we'll go down to old business. We have some Neola policies.
Yes, asking for approval of this round of policies and admin guidelines.
So moved.
I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second? Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we'll go down to programs. We have a Panther Online Academy handbook.
Yes, this is just an inform. In your packet is the updates on the student handbook for Panther Online, similar to what you've had with the previous handbooks. Some of it's just more closely aligned to our handbook in person, and then there was just some changes in the courseware that the students would use. So, and it includes the calendar for next year.
Okay.
Again, that calendar is different than a regular scheduled calendar.
It is different. They start a little later, just it works out easier if they start a little bit later than those in school because the instructors with the program we use, they don't start. So there was a lapse this year from when we actually started to when the instructors started. So
it's the same number of hours a day?
Yes, same days in each semester. It's just timing, and
they don't get
fall break due to that starting late.
Again, this item is an inform. If you have other questions, please reach out to Carrie.
Yes.
Next, under finances, we have a resolution.
Yes, asking for approval of a resolution authoring the transfer of $1.5 million from the Ed Fund to the Ops Fund in June 26th and December 26th to reimburse the Operations Fund for expenses not allocated to student instruction and learning for the 26 budget year. This was already a resolution that would comply with what we passed for the budget this year.
We'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we're down under operations. We have a strategic plan update.
Yes, so we have started our new strategic plan, Blueprint 2030. So I'd like to just do a brief highlight summary of closing out our old plan. So we've had an old plan for about 3.5 years. And so these are just some highlights from that plan and things that have been achieved. It doesn't cover everything, but the high-level highlights. So we had 4 focus areas in this plan, and that was to recruit and retain for academic excellence and growth, growing Panther college and career opportunities, and then fiscal responsibility. We were aware that enrollment was declining, and it was so we invested the time of a demographer to study that and help us look at solutions and what the long-term impact looked to be. He predicted, if you remember, that we'll continue to see that decline through 2031. And so this is a chart of where we've been in the last 15 years. One of the elements that was not in the demographer study that has been especially difficult additional piece for us with enrollment has been the passage of universal choice scholarship for the most part. Most families in the state qualify for choice scholarship. That happened during this strategic plan time frame. And as you can see, us, along with other school corporations in the state, it nearly doubled those numbers. The other thing that is not in a demographer study that is another factor that negatively impacts enrollment is the large movement of transfer to students online. And that is not unique to Jennings County, that is across the state. When we started the plan, we had 97 students that would have been Jennings County students transferring out onto an online program. So one of the things through this strategic plan that we did was beginning our own online program in order to see if we could have some of those kids stay with us, and trying to make our program have things like in-person tutoring and opportunities to come in locally. So we do now see in the fall of 25, there are 173 students who are online. That continues to grow around the state. 38 of those students are on our own online programming. In fiscal responsibility, we also are looking at making sure that our staffing matches our enrollment numbers. So working to make sure that our staffing is equitable to the decreased number of students in the district. So we have, over the course of the plan, not counting the positions that we will also have this year, we have reduced 69 positions in the corporation since 2022, since the 21-22 school year. That does not account for the additional positions that we will absorb this year, which we will be probably just shy of 100 at that point. Something that we did achieve was one of our goals was retaining our teachers. And so when we started this plan in 2021, we were in the lowest 10 corporations in the state for teacher retention. And that was right at post-COVID. You can see that is at 75 percentile. And through the efforts of the plan with mentoring and many different things that we did to help with teacher retention, we moved up into the top 10 of the state for teacher retention at 92%. We were very excited about that, and we plan to continue those programs going forward. This data point, though, will be hard for us to track in the future because where we are reducing staff intentionally, that goes into the number of calculations. So we anticipate to see that number be a hard one to use in the future. Another is success and celebration, and this one is extra special to me. When I started as superintendent, we had a lot of meetings about literacy and how important literacy is, that reading in 3rd grade is a benchmark for future life success and outcomes. And as a corporation, we were at 77%. So we adopted Science of Reading framework. You as a board approved additional coaches to support, allowed us to join literacy cadre. We added a lot of professional development and have had transformation across the district. And last year, this year's aren't out yet, but last year our iRead scores for 3rd grade in the county were 92%. So that is one of our most successful pieces of the plan. iLearn growth, looking to grow in iLearn performance in all areas. We achieved progress. The district-wide ELA pass rate went from 32 to 36, math from 35 to 39, science from 32 to 42. We attribute a lot of that to the STEM programming that we also greatly added during the strategic plan. And then our biology scores at the high school went from 14 to 54. Our SATs, we also showed growth in SAT benchmarks across the board. That said, we also still realize we have a lot of work to do on that SAT benchmark, and it's part of our next strategic plan as well. This is the next data point that is just really special to all of us, and this is a work of so many people and our parents and our kids to get the graduation rate, which was in 21-22 before we started the plan, at 79. I might need readers at this point, I think. 79%, and it was in the lowest 10 counties of the state, which is now then, since that plan, up to 95.9%. That is a significant amount of growth for a graduation rate in that short amount of time. That is a very significant data point. So thankful for all of the hard work of our high school staff and adult ed staff too, who had to be a part of that puzzle to helping us figure out how to help the graduation rate. Absenteeism rates, when we began absenteeism for chronic absenteeism is defined as missing 18 or more days a year for any reason, excused or unexcused. We were in the 10 highest graduation, I'm saying this backwards. We were one of the top absenteeism corporations in the state. We had a lot of absenteeism. So you can see we were at 23% of our kids were missing that amount of school every year when we started the plan. And that's the district average. And then if you see now in 24-25, we were at 17%. That attendance metrics move slowly, and so that is a significant amount of progress. And you can see some buildings had even greater jump than that. The middle school's very notable. They were at 38%, and last year they ended at 21%, and they're on trend to improve this year as well. And then this was what we offered when we started our READY project and looked to expand programming at the high school in CTE, career technology. And we have even more than this that we offer now for our students. And we've been able to add certifications and programmings that kids can get right here in Jennings County. We had our first group of CDL licensed graduates last week. How many did we end up with? 10. 10 students graduated with their CDL in this last week in that new program. Thank you for all of your work to allow us to add that programming. Welding certificates, how many welders did we award to the other day? Do you remember? I'm thinking about lining up.
We're still waiting to hear back on the certification exams, but we had 9 welding 2 students complete their certificate through Ivy Tech, the 2-year program.
As well as our CNA students at the high school, and I won't ask them to rattle off any more numbers on the spot. But a lot of exciting programming that we've added and that kids are taking advantage of. Those classrooms are filling and using those opportunities. And then in addition, as part of the strategic plan, we looked at how do we keep our kids engaged and wanting to come to school. And for us, a big part of that is hands-on learning, which is project-based learning, PBL, and STEM. And we have had 4 schools go through the rigorous, very rigorous, outside people come in and certify schools and have achieved STEM certification. We have 2 more that are still in that process and working through it. Very proud of the work in STEM that we're doing locally. We have one of the only Cummins Design Innovation Studios in this region of the state that we were selected for. We've increased advanced coursework in prior to 9th grade. Students next year in 8th grade will all be taking 2 advanced courses. Indiana College Core, we can offer it here locally. A lot of other schools, they have online courses, they have to travel. We offer Indiana College Core locally. And then ECA and sports. We've added esports, which for the first time, I don't know if you saw it in the paper, we had kids get scholarships for esports for college. We've added 6th grade and 5th grade band and orchestra. You saw when they were playing for us, and the teacher talked about what a difference it makes getting that early start. We've been able to offer other programs and opportunities for our kids here locally. So we may be a small town and we may be rural, but we are very competitive in what innovative opportunities we offer for our kids. So that's just a quick highlight, but I wanted to kind of summarize the last strategic plan. And then we are using all of that data that we talked about in our work session, and we have our action areas developed for Blueprint 2030, and we're rolling forward to our new plan. We have some teacher leaders and administrators that will meet on June 10th and define SMART goals and get all of those action pieces put together, and I'll share those with you at a later date. So we're rolling forward, and we're excited about it.
I have a question on the teacher retention.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what the stats are for the other folks that work with kids directly, like parapros or anything? Because that also went up.
We could figure that locally. The data I get, we don't figure ourselves. It comes from a state database at IYI for teachers. But we could, if we're interested in that, we could figure it locally.
Just curious. Good deal.
Any other questions for Nikki? Great. Again, that item was an inform. So next we'll move down to new business. We have some new Neola policies.
So Neola rolled out a new volume, and so this is a group of policies to bring in for first reading. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Again, that item is an inform. If you have questions, get with Nikki. Under programs, new business, JCHS Bell schedule.
Yes, Mr. Roller and Mrs. Ebbing are here to present, this is an inform, present the new proposed bell schedule for next year.
Thank you guys for letting us be here. going along with everything that Nikki just shared from the previous strategic plan, one of the big things that we looked at with that strategic plan and helping to grow that graduation rate was how we attacked intervention for kids who were falling behind that weren't on track to graduate. And we spent a lot of time building out what we call student resource time. And while those have been amazing opportunities for our kids and been very, very successful, the hardship that we face in it is right now we have 2 SRTs. One is during A lunch, one is during D lunch. And it can be difficult sometimes for kids to be able to go see a teacher that they need. So what we did is we took a look at how could we unify that? How could we get an intervention period in the middle of the day that everybody would be focused on that intervention? So what you see on the left side is our current bell schedule. You will also notice that a lot of our classes are not equal time. 78 minutes in the first period, 75 seconds, 72 plus the SRT, and then 77. This new bell schedule will offer where every class will be 75 minutes exactly. It's also going to cut down our passing periods from 7 minutes to 5 minutes. If you go way back, they were 10 minutes, and when we looked at that, the majority of our discipline during a passing period happened at the end. We are very confident that our students can move throughout the building even with 5 minutes, so we're going to cut that back again and get some of that instructional time back. You'll notice the interesting thing here that I want to explain with the 0 and 9th period intervention. Those are not scheduled classes. Those will be built into our morning and afternoon duties that our teachers provide to have intervention labs. One of the biggest things that we've struggled with is our Career Center and work-based learning kids who leave before student resource time right now. And how do we get intervention to them when they need it? We don't want to keep them back from going to work-based learning, to going to the Career Center, but we still need to make sure that they're getting through their classes here. What we're going to implement is that those students will either stay after school or come in early to school to get that intervention before or after. So they'll have that 25 minutes of intervention built in right there with a lab that they can come and get support with. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Ebbing to talk a little bit more about what we've done with our flex period and how that'll work.
Right, so a little history with the flex period. It was really, it's born from our SRT that we implemented post-COVID when we had to go to 4 lunches. So that's a big piece of this as well. So during that time, we had to do something with that 4th piece of time. So that was obviously a time that we needed a lot more student resource time and to build programs that help students with deficits coming out of COVID. That's something that we've had. Teresa Taylor really has led the way in our student resource labs, several different teachers with English and math were the ones that started that. We added science this year. So through that, we've increased our data. Our failure rates have plummeted with courses. But again, like Mr. Roller had said, it's really difficult. That time period is only about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and half of the students had ASRT, half of the students had DSRT. So we wanted to be able to continue all of the work that we put into those labs and the tracking and pulling students. We basically, in those classes, set up a policy where you're doing the work. If they had any missing assignments, they were called into SRT labs so that we could ensure success. So we wanted to ensure that with this, a uniform time across the building, 45 minutes where we can set up teachers who will be in charge of those labs, whether it's every day, whether it's 2 or 3 times a week. They are going to be able to deliver that instruction in a way that's consistent, and students are able to go straight to our flex time. I'm sure you'll talk a little bit about the program that we're going to use, but really streamline it and use that time during the day.
And the exciting thing to kind of build on that, not just for those kids that need intervention, we're going to use this also as a motivational tool. Students who need intervention, who are falling behind, who aren't on track to graduate, this is a great opportunity for us to give them that intervention. But what about the kids that are doing well? Well, we also see the idea that, and we've talked about it here before, the struggle with some kids who can't stay after school for clubs, for activities, to be involved. And we know the importance of having kids involved. We're gonna put a lot of those club activities during that flex period as well, where transportation is no longer an issue for those kids. Again, if you wanna be a part of that club, if you wanna be involved, you gotta have your grades first. So then you get those opportunities. We're also looking at what we're calling Fun Fridays, but what Fun Fridays would be is a micro course. Allowing our teachers to show some things in a smaller setting to help build interest in some of those electives. So for instance, let's say ceramics class. I don't know that I want to jump into the full ceramics class, but Barry Hovius may offer a Fun Friday micro lesson during that flex period for 2 or 3 weeks that a kid can come in and try ceramics, see if it's something they like, and then hopefully sign up. So we can build some of that student body actually being involved in those courses, those elective courses, and giving them a sample size to try. Mrs. Ebbing brought up the software that we're looking at. It's called Enriching Students, and it is designed directly for flex periods in high school. It's got some pretty amazing features. It will actually allow all of our staff to set up office hours during those flex periods. So maybe for a math teacher, maybe their algebra office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Their geometry, if they're teaching that too, is Tuesday, Thursday. Kids can sign up to go to that class during that flex period to get intervention if they need to, or if they have questions. But we'll also run grade reports every Friday and upload those and missing assignments. If a student is failing or missing assignments, they're automatically assigned to the lab or to that teacher for intervention. So when the kid goes to make a selection because they want to go do something else or go to a club, they'll see that they've already been assigned the math lab to get that grade back up. Once the grade's up, it totally opens up the flexibility and choice for them again. A lot of this is the same thing we've been doing. We've just been doing it by hand, manually, spreadsheets, pink passes, running around the building, handing them out, finding kids. And as Mrs. Ebbing said, our real idea is what we've talked to our teachers about over the last several years is if you're going to assign the work, it should be quality enough work that it's important that the kid does it. So if we're assigning the work and they opt out, we're not going to let them. We're going to go find them. We're going to sit down with them. We're going to make sure that they complete and do the work because if it was important, it's something we need to do. And that is, again, as she said, our failure rates are at the lowest I have ever seen. And our on track to graduation rate, just for an example, probably 5-6 years ago, we were running 70 or 80 kids through summer school. Starting summer school Tuesday, we are right now at 12 kids that will be coming in summer school. And that's after we didn't offer night school classes fall or spring semester. So the kids needing credit recovery options are no longer because of the work of this MTSS and SRT.
It just becomes the culture. That's the expectation.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Again, that item wasn't informed. Does anyone have any additional questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll go down to professional staff. We have a request to fill positions prior to the next board meeting.
Yes, asking for permission to fill positions prior to the next board meeting. There's a 3-week gap between meetings, and we still have some summer hiring and some hiring for next year too.
So we'll entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion by Travis, second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we have some recommendations.
Yes, please, asking for approval for the following recommendations. John Kelly, Jennings County High School Girls Golf Coach. Kyle Lime, Jennings County High School Sped Teacher. Kobe Vogel, Jennings County High School Summer School Teacher.
We'll entertain a motion to approve those recommendations as read.
So moved.
I have a motion by Cheryl. Do I have a second? Second by Kurt. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
And Amy, if you'll excuse me, I haven't had the privilege of being able to meet him in person, but I think I figured out who Mr. Lime is. So Mr. Lime, our newest Jennings County High School Sped Teacher, is here today. So if you don't mind, Kyle, could you tell us who's with you today?
Of course.
Could you introduce?
Hi, thank you for having my family and I. This is my wife, Chelsea. Oh, I'm Kyle. I forgot to mention that. And have our son, Maddox, here. Yeah.
That's great. And Kyle, we have a tradition here, and when someone is joining the family, we ask if you'll go around the table. We like to congratulate you. So you can start over here with Mr. Ebinger, please.
Pleasure, sir.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you in person.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And I have to ask, can we turn this?
I can bring him up, take another.
Yes. Even if you just turn him around so we can see him, I'm good with that.
How old is he, Kyle?
5 months.
5 months.
That's a bigger congratulations than getting the position that you made.
It's your first field trip.
Just take him away.
Yeah, give it, everybody second round. Give him a little ride. Poor kid.
Oh, Frankie, he's doing better now.
Did you say Maddox?
Yes, Maddox mine.
He's like, hey, Daddy, this was fun.
Hey.
Future Panther.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not paying attention. I think you're
You're ready.
He's adorable. He's looking like, I know.
Thanks for that second round.
Thank you guys again.
I mean, priorities, really. We're all about the kids. So, very good. Well, again, welcome.
Thank you.
So next we'll go down under support staff. Again, we have some recommendations.
Yes, please, asking for approval of the following recommendations. Michael Obushan, Jennings County High School Summer School Parapro. Lindy Daup, I always have to stop and think. Jennings County School Corp Summer Grounds Worker. Isaiah Hammond, Summer Grounds Worker as well. Lisa Hudson, MVE Summer Custodian. Lori McLean, Summer Tech Intern. Brandon Sotelo, Summer Tech Intern. And Sandra Whitney, Summer Custodian, Sabio Elementary.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve those as read.
So moved.
Have a motion by Pat, second by Travis. Yep. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
And I have one more, please? Yes, I'm wanting to ask approval for the recommendation of Lindsay Shepard, Jennings County School Corp occupational therapist.
We'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Cheryl, do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Any discussion? All those in favor? 6, abstained, 1. Can't believe you didn't vote for her.
And we are fortunate enough to have Lindsay and her family with us tonight as well. So Lindsay, if you'll introduce your family to us, we'd appreciate it.
I'm Lindsay Shepard. This is my husband Jackson and our daughter Evelyn.
And she is very, very new.
Yes, 4 weeks tomorrow.
Yes, yes. So Lindsay, we are so happy to have you, and we would love to be able to congratulate you as well. So if you want to start with Mr. Ebinger, go around the table. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, if you need PRN hours, we're in the hospital.
Okay.
Already
That
trained.
happens all the time, Lindsay. We get those names.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you have to deal with the father.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I mean, are we gonna make her do a second?
I was
baby?
I mean, Jackson was really upset.
Jackson. Oh, Jackson. That's
Bring her
right.
up,
You got
Jackson. Come on, bring her up. Show and tell.
We don't have to breathe on her, but you've got to get a little bit closer. Oh. Oh, she's sleeping so good. She's going to be right here all the
They'll be in
time.
the same kindergarten class.
That's right.
Does she look like me?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Very good. Well, again, welcome. So next we'll move down to finances. We have some donations.
Asking for approval to accept these donations for Graham Creek Elementary School, T Creek Baptist Church, $300 for negative student lunch accounts. For Jennings County School Corporation Crescendo, Crescendo Music Department Countywide Fine Arts Festival for t-shirts, sound, and posters. Ron's Auto Body Service of North Vernon, $250. Asking for approval to accept those donations.
I have a motion by Travis, do I have a second by Pat, any discussion? All those in favor, 7-0. Another resolution.
Asking for approval of a resolution authorizing the treasurer or deputy treasurer to make payments of claims without board action prior to June 11th, and to allow them to make transfers of appropriations within the funds in order to balance major account classifications.
We'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion by Kurt, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl, any discussion? All those in favor, 7-0. Which brings us down to relations.
Yes, I'm asking for approval for an MOU between Clarity of Central Indiana and JCSC. This is the same MOU as last year, and we're just asking for approval.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mary Lynn, a second by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And one more.
Yeah, we have an MOU with CLSI, which is our special ed data tracking system. It's our backup for our state reports. It's our TOR reports. Everything comes from CLSI. So we've used this program for 10 plus years, but asking permission to accept the MOU with them.
Entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Which brings us down to other.
Yes, we have a couple other this evening. One, I just wanted to share with the board that I got word the State Board of Education officially approved our request for 3 waiver days for students next year, so that all of our staff are able to attend professional development. So we will announce those dates prior to the school year beginning. So I'll bring those back to you at a later time, but that was officially approved in May. And then Lisa has one for personnel.
Yes, asking for approval for Scott Sage to be approved as the Jennings County High School head girls volleyball coach.
So moved.
I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second by Mary Lynn? Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing nothing else to come before the board, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Chelsea. Do I have a second? Second by Pat. All those in favor? 7-0. Meeting adjourned.